On pages 12 and 13 of Beginning Classroom Guitar, we talk about how to tune the guitar. As an instrument that has variable tuning, the strings stretch based on use, based on how new they are, based on changing weather conditions, we need to be able to make sure that our guitar is in tune so that when we play as a solo artist or with other musicians, that there aren't any clashes based on us not being in tune and tuned to the same relative pitch. On pages 12 and 13, I talk about how to tune the instrument, and everything on those two pages is still pertinent in the 21st century. However, we want to realize that when I wrote this textbook in 1998, some of the technology that we take for granted today didn't even exist. And I know you're asking, well, you must have written this book when you were like 5 years old. Just kidding. The technology that we have today really does make it easy. Before we get started on tuning the guitar, let's talk about the names of the open 6 strings. We always go from the highest sounding string, the one furthest away from us, to the lowest sounding string, the one closest to us. If you start at the first string, the highest sounding string, and remember this simple saying, Easter bunny gets depressed after Easter, you'll have an easy way of memorizing the open 6 strings. The first string, Easter, E. The second string, bunny, B. The third string, gets, G. The fourth string, depressed, D. The fifth string, A, after. And the sixth string, Easter, low E. Now let's talk about how to tune those strings. I would go ahead and take a second and just map out where each string goes to, which tuning peg is in line with each string. You'll notice that the 6th string goes all the way up to this first one, the 5th string will go up to this one, the 4th string will go to this one, the 3rd string will go to this one, 2nd and 1st. And also, don't be afraid to turn them a little bit. I know that beginning students often are afraid that they're going to turn it too much or that the string could break. Especially if you have a nylon string instrument, it's very difficult to break these strings. You'd have to turn them a lot, or the strings themselves would have to be very old. What we want to do is we want to use some external source to be able to get a pitch that we can tune one or more strings on the instrument to. And that way we have an external source that is common to all of us. The easiest external source to use is something called a tuning fork. A tuning fork will vibrate at a particular frequency. This one is at A440, which is the same as the open 5th string of the guitar. So it will help us to tune that string. So if you take a tuning fork, like we used to have to do, and tap it on your leg, and then put it on the instrument, it will vibrate a pitch. That pitch is what we want the 5th string of the guitar to be tuned to. So once you have your relative pitch from an external source like a tuning fork, we're going to go ahead and use the schematic on page 13 to tune the guitar. So what we would do is, the 5th string of the guitar has already been tuned to that tuning fork. If we play that 5th string at the 5th fret, that we want to be equal to the open 4th string. So we would play the 5th string at the 5th fret, the open 4th string, and then have to make a decision. Is the 4th string higher or lower than the note we're playing on the 5th string? I think it's slightly higher, so I'm going to lower it a little bit. I'm going to lower it a little bit more. Those sound pretty good. I'll do the same process on the 4th string. The 4th string at the 5th fret is going to be equal to the open 3rd string. And you adjust it higher or lower until they match. The 3rd string at the 4th fret will equal the open 2nd string. The 2nd string at the 5th fret will equal the open 1st string. And the 1st string is 2 octaves higher than the 6th string, so we can use that 1st string to tune the 6th. Okay, that's the complicated way of tuning a guitar. So if you look at that schematic, again, it demonstrates how we can match pitches all the way across the instrument. In today's world, technology makes it much simpler for us to tune our instrument. One device that I regularly use, as do many concert artists, is a clip-on digital tuner. There are a variety of them from a number of manufacturers. They're relatively inexpensive. I remember when they were $20, $30. Now most of them are under $15. So you attach this to the instrument, and this will literally tell you how close you are to the open strings. Once you turn the device on, you go ahead and play the string. I'm playing the 6th string. It identifies it as the pitch E, and I want to have it so that all the lights are on, and that says that I'm on the pitch. I'm going to go ahead and go to the 5th string. It identifies it as A. I see that both lights are on. I'm in tune. I'll go ahead and play the 4th string. It identifies it as D. I'm a little flat, a little too low. I adjust it now. Both lights are on. 3rd string. It identifies it as G. Again, both lights are on. I'm in tune. 2nd string. And 1st string. You may not even be aware that concert artists are using these digital tuners because we can place them on our instrument where no one will see them other than us, and provides us a quick way to check our tuning in the middle of a concert, or to adjust if the temperature is dramatically different from what it was backstage and the instrument starts to go out of tune. So this is an example of a technology that we didn't have when I wrote this book, and is very accessible. Another technology is that you can download onto your mobile device any number of apps that do the same thing. Many of them are free. So these are ways that we can quickly tune our guitars. Lastly, you can use this video. I'm going to go ahead and play the open 6 strings of the guitar one at a time, and you can go ahead and tune to that tone that you're getting from this video. So, the 6th string. The 5th string. The 4th string. The 3rd string. The 2nd string. And the 1st string.